First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Good Samaritan, a regional healthcare center offering a variety of services from primary care to same-day joint replacement surgery and more. Good Samaritan online at gshvin.org. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. And by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to First City Focus. I'm your host, Allison Bowers. On this episode, we'll talk with a volunteer organization that helps children in times that they need it most. Internet safety is at the forefront of important topics that both parents and educators are trying to stay informed on. We'll learn more about what the Vincennes Community School Corporation is doing to keep their students safe. Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are rapidly growing fields in the United States. We'll learn about what Vincennes University is doing to prepare future students for these careers. We have these stories and more right now on First City Focus. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness, strengthening families, and protecting children above all else. There are people in our own community that volunteer their time to be a voice for children who need it. I'm here today with Knox County CASA Director Denise Swink. Thanks for joining me today, Denise.
Thank you.
So court-appointed special advocates, what does that mean exactly?
So we are community volunteers that give our time to advocate for the children that are abused and neglected here in Knox County. And their time means that they go through a 30-hour training, they go through background checks, they must be 21 years of age, and then also love children, have that passion to want to volunteer. And then once they go through that training, they will swear in and become officers of the court. And then they visit the child that they're assigned once a month. That's the requirement. And they will enter all their information of their visits, time, and what they connect with the child and what they know about the child and what they've learned about the child during that month, if their needs are all being met. They enter that into our data system called Optima. And then they also attend court hearings. They will tell the judge exactly what their wishes are, what's in their best interest, because we want to make sure those children are safe while they are in the court system. So that's kind of the overall picture of what it is to be a court-appointed special advocate. Currently, right now in Knox County, there are 180 open CHINS cases here in Knox County. That's a lot of children that have been abused or neglected, for our small community. So that's kind of what that looks like. And what our CASA program is serving is 117 of those children. We have 14 amazing CASA volunteers, but we can't serve all children here in Knox County with the amount of volunteers we have. So we want to be able to serve all children right now. 63 children are without a CASA volunteer. So, if it's near and dear to your hearts and people who are watching this TV presentation, maybe we'll pull on their heartstrings a little bit and encourage them to want to volunteer and give back to Knox County children and become a volunteer.
Right, and like you said, these children, it's hard to imagine, but they may not have a trusted adult in their life, and that's where the CASA volunteer can step in, right? And it's a relatively low time commitment. You said once a month, and then their court hearings.
Absolutely, the time that they enter their contact logs, visit a child, and attend any court hearings is about maximum 10 hours a month. But once the case goes along, you're going to spend a little less time during that case. At the beginning, you're going to spend a little bit more time on the case because you're learning who all the people are that are parties to the case, the child and who, their plans and their routines of if they're a child that goes to school or they're a child that is an infant, if they go to daycare or if they are just in the home or if they've been placed in foster care, what that situation looks like. So during the end of the case, you're going to have a little less time. So you're not going to spend up to 10 hours on a case. So, that's not that much time. We spend a lot more time doing other things in our life that can be most impactful to changing a child's story or giving back to a child in need. So we encourage people to, if it's not CASA, to volunteer in some way and making an impact in your community.
Right. So talk to me about if someone's watching this and they are interested in volunteering, what's the training process to become a CASA volunteer?
So first way to get connected with us is to fill out an application, and you can do that online at knoxcountycasa.com. That's the easiest way. Just click on the link that says apply here, and you're going to fill out the application, and then the next process would happen. Our volunteer coordinator in our office is Holly Hillenbrand. She's going to reach out to you the day that you submit your application. That's how quick it is that we respond to you. And if somebody isn't technology equipped or savvy, we call us, and we are our telephone number. I'll put it out here, is area code 812-882-2108. You can call us on the phone and we will do a written application. We want to accommodate everybody who is interested in the CASA program. So once they do that step, we'll come in and do an interview, just asking you questions about your interest, your background. So the next step is after you've done that interview, then you can start the pre-service training with us, and we've done background checks. That's part of the process too. We do those, and then you start the training process with Holly Hillenbrand, and that takes 30 hours, but all those hours are not spent, sitting in our office. We do. We have people come in and speak to our trainees, being attorneys, being past children who have grown up and now are CASA volunteers, or attorneys that are part of the court system and part of the process of our children being defense attorneys, as well as our judge after they do court observations, which the cases that we do are only the people that are allowed in court are the children's parents or caregivers and the Department of Child Services, the Indiana Department of Child Services. It is a closed hearing because of the confidentiality of the children. And we want our potential volunteers to understand the confidentiality portion of what we do, because we want to protect these children that we are serving.
Right. Do you have any upcoming events, fundraisers coming up that you would like the public to know about?
Absolutely. So we have a nonprofit, which is Friends of Knox County CASA, and that's another way, if somebody's interested in becoming a CASA volunteer and maybe serving children isn't what they're really wanting to do, there are other ways they can be involved in CASA and support CASA. This is one way, which is Friends of Knox County CASA. We have a golf outing that's annual every year for 15 years. And this is our 15th annual golf outing, and it is on May the 22nd, and it will be at the golf course here in Vincennes, Cypress Hills Golf Course. And you'll sign up at 9 o'clock, sorry about that, at 9 o'clock, and the shotguns start at 10 o'clock. And we always look forward to this every year. We have a local child come and sing the national anthem. We have youth come and help work at the golf outing. And I wouldn't say work, come and support the golf outing, because these are children that love to give back to our CASA program, and we love to see the youth out at our golf outing. And so that is a wonderful opportunity, and any funds brought in from that outing go back to Knox County CASA. So if a child is in the system and there's a need, we want to be able to provide all those needs for a child. An example of that would be if there's a medical device a child would need while they are in the system and it's quite expensive, that they need a second device maybe while they're in the school and they have one at home, Friends of Knox County CASA can pay for that second device. Or if transportation is an issue, which we have seen throughout several of our cases, and maybe that would be what would keep the case open. We'll buy a bicycle and that will close a case. I mean, something like that, just we can mitigate that very quickly by having Friends of Knox County CASA. So that is wonderful. The other thing I do want to bring up is just making the listeners know that neglect and abuse can be anywhere you're at, and just being aware that everyone in Indiana is a mandated reporter. So if you suspect abuse or neglect, it's important that you call the Indiana Department. And so a number that they all should remember is 1-800-800-5556. And maybe put that in your phone, because if you see a child, we need to protect all Indiana children.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Denise, for being a champion for the children in Knox County. I really appreciate you coming today. Thank you. If you feel led to find out more information about the CASA program, you can call their office at 812-882-2108. Children need the help and guidance of trusted adults in all situations, even when the situations might be new to the adults. That's why the school resource officers at the Vincennes Community School Corporation are spreading as much information as they can about internet safety. Tessa Haig tells us more now.
In a world where the classroom extends far beyond four walls and into the digital palm of a hand, the dangers facing students are evolving faster than ever. At the Vincennes Community School Corporation, the police department isn't just patrolling the halls, they are patrolling the web.
My name's Aaron Luce, and I'm the Chief of Police here at the Vincennes Community School Corporation Police Department. We did an internet safety presentation last week, and the big focus was just there's a lot of predators online, and so being able to educate our kids and educate our parents, because it starts at home.
Law enforcement warns that the threat often begins with grooming, a calculated process where predators hunt for the most vulnerable.
So the predator will maybe find a kid that may seem depressed or just lonely or isolated, and they will make them feel appreciated, because kids kind of want an escape sometimes. So they go to online and they think they meet friends, and they might, but they also probably have been contacted by predators.
Assistant Chief Cody Jones sees the fallout of these interactions firsthand. He says these conversations often start in popular games like Roblox or Minecraft before moving to darker corners of the web.
Kids will get on those and start playing and innocently start talking to somebody, and then they'll say, hey, I've created this game on Roblox, follow this link, come here and talk to me on this place. And that's where the tone starts to change a little bit, and that's where it gets, inappropriate.
One of the most rapidly growing threats is sextortion, where a predator blackmails a child using sensitive images.
One of the common things which is found everywhere is sextortion. Predators will start chatting with them, and they'll start, sending inappropriate pictures back and forth, and then that predator gets that picture of the kid and then basically blackmails or extorts them and says, if you don't send me a certain amount of money or do this certain task, I'm going to send this picture to your family or your entire school or your entire friends list.
In 2026, technology has reached a terrifying new level with AI.
So that's another thing. with parents posting their, like maybe pictures of their kids, predators can still get those pictures. Predators are taking those pictures, harmless pictures that you might be putting online, and then they're using that technology to maybe make child sexual abuse material with your kid's picture.
To combat all of these issues, Indiana lawmakers passed a statewide cell phone ban for schools. VCSC has implemented this away for the day policy, requiring phones to stay in lockers or bags. Assistant Chief Jones says the change is already making a difference, even as they fight to stay ahead of the technology.
One of the good things we have is we don't allow cell phones in high school, middle school, elementary anymore. It's been a big help here recently.
For Officer Josh Shipman, the best defense is education before kids even reach middle school.
This is for 5th grade elementary students. They're in that age group where they're starting to experiment with things and they're getting more explorative online. And so we try and give them the tools that they can have before they enter that age group.
The message from all 3 officers is clear. State laws and school monitoring can only do so much. The ultimate responsibility lies with the parents.
You want your kids to have freedom, but then there's also the other side where you are the parent and you're not their friend. It's nice to be their friend, but you're responsible for their safety. And sometimes that means going through their device and opening every app and going through their messages to make sure they're not messaging anybody that they shouldn't be, and going through all of their social media and online gaming.
It starts at home. I feel like we do an excellent job in the VCSC with trying to get ahead of these issues, but I mean, we're only with them a handful of hours out of the day, and we really need the help of the family and the community to come in and just, educate everybody on what this can lead to.
For VCSC, the goal is simple. Keep the kids safe, one click at a time.
Education is key. It's just simply to keep them safe because there are people out there who generally want to do evil things to them.
There are also resources for parents and families about internet safety on pbskidsforparents.org. Vincennes University provides learning opportunities for community members of all ages, not just those who are seeking to earn a degree. I'm here with the Director of Pre-College Programs and the STEM Academy Coordinator, Nicole Hagemeyer-McVeigh. Thanks for joining me today, Nicole.
Hey, I'm glad to be here.
So tell me about Vincennes University's STEM Camp.
Well, we started this camp in 2022 was our first summer, and at camp we have students going into their junior and senior years of high school who come to campus, spend a few days here overnight, and they get to explore all kinds of areas of STEM. So we really just want to show them about opportunities are out there in as many fields as we can as possible.
Right, so you said they come and they stay on campus,
Yes.
right? For how many nights?
So they will show up on Sunday evening. We'll get them all through their orientation, and they will be here for 3 nights. So they leave on Wednesday evening. Parents get to pick them back up then.
So they get to experience dorm life,
Yep.
and I'm sure they eat at the cafeteria.
Yep, they get to see what TDC is all about. We also take them to the bowling center, and we try to do either the pool or the student rec center to give them an idea of what campus life is like and opportunities they'd have when they go off to college eventually.
Right. There's not a lot of overnight camp opportunities around locally, so that's a unique opportunity for those kids. Do they have to choose a path to go into? Like, do they choose a letter of STEM?
Previously, we had a beginning where they start and they try out everything, and then they would do a special project. But last year and this year, we have had to cut the last couple days due to funding. So they get to try it all. Doesn't matter, even if they think, hey, I want to go and I want to be a computer programmer. Okay, great. You get to try out health science too, because you never know what you might like. And they might decide, I really like helping people, but I still like this tech side of it. So how can I put these two together? Mm-hmm. So it gives them an idea of what they might be doing. And then like our engineering students, even if they're the EO STEM, right? They still have to take chemistry. They still have to take all kinds of math classes, and they can choose to do more than that with it. They might want to do engineering that's related to computer science more, or health science. So it gives them an idea more of what's out there, and they get to explore. We've had kids who've come to camp who were like, Mom made me come, I'm here, I don't want to be here, right? And they end up leaving going, I didn't think I liked anything in STEM, but wow, did you open my eyes to what's out there.
Right. Yeah, so sometimes, and when they get to try everything, they maybe learn what they do like and maybe what they don't like,
Yes.
right? Which is just as valuable.
It really is.
Right.
You know, we've had students who completely switched what they thought they were going to major in because they went and they did a couple activities in an area and they're like, oh my goodness, I thought I liked this, but now that I've been doing a little bit more really hands-on, not just high school level, I don't. So I'm going to find something different.
Right.
And that can save these kids thousands of dollars.
I was going to say, when they learn that before they start
Yes.
college, like how valuable of information is that?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
these kids are coming, and how much does the camp cost?
So camp is $50 for the whole thing. That includes food, that includes any safety gear they might need, the housing. They get a college credit. And if a student can't afford it, we have scholarship waivers. So when they go to the registration page, there's a link to that they fill out. And there's a list of things they can select that are auto qualifiers, like free or reduced lunch, 21st century scholars, ETS programs. But then they also have a spot where parents can say, hey, here's why we need it. And I look over it, it takes me a couple minutes, I say, yeah, they need it. Here's your code, and then they can register for free.
So they get a college credit
Yep.
for $50.
Yes.
I mean, that is just phenomenal in 2026. You know, I mean, that's such a cost saving, and that gives them an idea, like you said, of, okay, yeah, and I think I want to go into STEM, and I think I like Vincennes University. So it kind of, it gets their foot in the door, and they learn about different opportunities, and like you said, it's a relaxed setting. It's a fun setting.
Oh, yeah.
It's not classroom, it's not coming in and, you know, they get to go out and, you know, I've seen videos and pictures of them out, they're outside some of the times, they're exploring, they're into, I mean, they're cleaning up the river or something. I mean, it's, you know, they're doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, we go out to the Ag Center usually. This is one of their favorite activities. It has been since we started this with one of the professors. They do mini gardens. And we buy all kinds of different succulents and ferns, and I don't know, they're all tiny plants and they're adorable. And they get to put them together and getting their hands in the dirt. And while they're working on this, she gets to talk to them about opportunities in ag and horticulture in that field. And so it, like you said, it's so low pressure.
Right, right. And that is, I'm sure that part of this camp is to show the kids these jobs, but also that's because there's going to be so many STEM jobs that there's going to be available to them, right? That's such a growing field. And you are a math professor, correct? Chemistry professor. So you're a female professor in the sciences. Do you see that as being a growing field for female students to go into?
I think so. When I went to school, I had one female chemistry professor, and we have had so many more. I've seen such a change in how we teach, how we approach education at the college level, and I want all the kids, but especially the females out there, to have these people that they can look up to and say, hey, I could do that.
Yes.
And something we actually do with camp on our last day, on Wednesday afternoon, once they've had a chance to try out most of the activities by that point, we invite VU alumni as well as other STEM employers in the community to come in, and we set it up kind of like a career fair where we have tables set up and the students they have to go to each one of the tables, that's one of their assignments, and talk to them, find out what do they do, what was their major, if they went beyond a bachelor's, what did they do as their bachelor's to get into graduate school, and what kind of things did they like about college, would they change about how they did, what kind of things can they do as far as how do I prepare myself now to enter this field? So we give them this opportunity to connect to individuals out there who are potentially in fields that they're interested in going into.
Right, and like you said, some of them might go on and do higher degrees.
Yes.
But that's not necessarily a requirement to work in STEM, right?
Absolutely. One of the things that was very important to us when we started this camp was that we involved technology that wasn't just computers, right? People think technology and they think coding and the programming side, right? But technology is our skilled trades too. It's construction, it's architecture, it's all of them in our technology building, applied robotics. So we have activities in that. They actually get to do residential electrical wiring as one of their activities. So it's not just sitting in a chemistry or biology or engineering class.
Right. This all sounds really fun and, like you said, hands-on and practical. If someone is wanting to sign their student up, when's the deadline to sign up?
Ideally by April 11th. If someone misses the deadline, however, they can contact me directly, email or phone, and we've opened it up in the past as long as we have spots available. Okay. We want as many kids to come as we can.
Right, and where do they sign their kid up for?
So we have, if they go to venue.edu/camps, they'll find a link to it. Is one of the easiest ways to get to it. They can also go to our pre-college programs Facebook page. All the links are there. The VU broadcasting Facebook has posted stuff for us. So if they search for Vincennes University STEM Academy, it'll come up somewhere.
Okay, well, perfect. I hope you have a huge turnout this year, Nicole.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining me today. Once again, if you know a student who is wanting to sign up for the STEM camp, the deadline is April 11th. New building construction is not always necessary to bring community opportunities to life. Photojournalist Dave Novak found out how the Loogootee Senior Center is getting new life breathed into an old building.
1, 2, 3.
There's a lot of people working together on this, and just very, very grateful that our community has come together to see this through.
I was actually dropping my water bill off at the utility office down the hallway, and I saw the senior center sign in the hallway, and I was like, I didn't know it was over there. So I went down and I went to open the door and it was locked. So I looked in the window and all the lights were off. I had no idea this back room was even here. So I went down to the water office and I was like, can I get keys to that senior center? I want to just get in there and check it out. So I was like, you know what, we've got to do something about this space. And I thought this may be an opportunity to help one demographic, but actually I wrote the grant on it being multi-generational programming to where we can bring in students and we can bring in adults that are maybe wanting to take a canning class where our older generation can teach the younger generation some things. We're not there yet, but that's our long-term goal and that we're hoping to get there eventually.
Early November, I received a text from Jessica saying, I have a project that I need help with. So we got together and I said, okay, what do you want from me? Well, I didn't have a clue what I was getting into. But the last 4 months have been full of a lot of projects, a lot of work, but we've had a lot of community support. So there's just been a lot of people chip in to help with it.
I didn't retire till I was 72. What was I going to do? Well, here I am. I come to the exercise classes. I do walk a lot, so I'm interested in just keeping moving.
They want to exercise. They want to be moving. So we reached out to our local Harvest Health and Rehab, and they are coming in once a month and doing stretches and strength training. People want to play cards. They want a book club. They want to exercise. They want a walking club. So all the things, people I think in general just want to be together, and now this space gives them that opportunity.
And that's all for this edition of First City Focus. For everyone here at Vincennes PBS, I'm Allison Bowers. Join us again next week.
First City Focus is supported in part by Duke Energy, powering the lives of its customers and communities. Online at duke-energy.com. Good Samaritan, a regional healthcare center offering a variety of services from primary care to same-day joint replacement surgery and more. Good Samaritan online at gshvin.org. Colonial Assisted Living. Colonial is an assisted living residence, promoting independence and dignity for each resident while providing the necessary assistance for daily living. Colonial Assisted Living, 1622 South Hart Street Road in Vincennes, 812-895-1504. and by donations contributed by Vincennes PBS viewers like you. Thank you.